Hello everyone and happy Easter. I'm Scott and this is Logan. We are so pumped for what's about to happen. Before we get started, there's one thing you need to know. Easterjam is for everybody in your family, so look around. Anybody missing? If so, hit the pause button and go get them right now.
We're about to have some serious fun, and kids, we need you to lead the way. Adults, buckle up. The only way to not have fun is to not participate.
That's exactly right. This is Easter like you've never done it before.
So we're gonna get things started in 3, 2, and 1.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
Okay, hear me out. There are only two kinds of people in the world. People who love these things, and then people like me. I just don't get it. I mean, how do you eat something so cute and grainy?
Okay, well let's see how your family feels. Show me a thumbs up if you love to eat these things. Give me a thumbs down if you don't. Okay. There are a lot of different opinions out there, but no matter how you feel about eating peeps, you're going to love this game.
Your family is going to face off in the greatest peep jousting competition of all time. We're going to explain how it works and then tell you when to start.
That's right. First, divide the room into 2 teams. Next, take 2 peeps and assign them to a team. If you don't have any peeps, no worries. Big marshmallows will work as well.
Team A gets a peep and Team B gets a peep. Now, you can come up with cooler names like Lord Sugarcoat or Sir Sprinkles. You get the idea. You can also use a marker or a Sharpie to decorate your peeps, to give them some personality, like draw a mustache on your peep or give them some mean eyebrows or a fancy outfit. Let your creative juices flow.
That's right. And next, you're gonna need to prepare your peeps for battle. Stick a toothpick in each peep to prepare them for battle. Think of the toothpick as a joust, a lightsaber, or a sword. It just depends on how serious your family is about this competition. Make sure the toothpick is facing forward toward the other peep.
That's right. Now place the 2 combatants on a microwave-safe plate. No social distancing necessary. You want the peeps to be close together and facing one another.
That's right. And finally, it is time for the big event. Gather around, put the plate in the microwave, setting the timer for 45 seconds. You won't let it run that long. In fact, don't. Then you're gonna press start and watch at a safe distance until the peeps drop their toothpick sabers and one touches the other. The toothpick that touches the other peep first wins.
As soon as this happens, you're going to want to stop the microwave. Trust me on this one. Okay, it's time to settle this thing. Don't forget to snap a pic of that photo finish and tag MetKids. Okay, it's go time. Press pause and we'll wait right here. All right, how did it go? Who won? We want to see the pictures. So post them and tag us at MetKids. Now I have to admit, that was a little bit more fun than I thought it was going to be, and this happened.
Now, are you ready for another game? So for this one, you need a laundry basket and socks. Like lots of socks. Clean or dirty, doesn't matter, just as long as they have a match. If you need to go grab those things right now, then press pause and I'll explain the rest. Got your basket and socks? Great. Now, you can continue with the same teams from earlier, or you can change up the teams just to keep it a little bit interesting. Whichever you pick, it's totally up to you.
To get started, dump all the socks on one side of the room. And don't worry, these socks will make their way back to the basket real soon. Then, place the basket on the other side of the room. When I say go, players will grab a sock, go through the pile to find the matching one, roll the socks together in the shape of a ball, or like an Easter egg, and then toss them across the room into the laundry/Easter basket.
Now, it is super important that every player keeps track of how many socks they make into the basket. After all, this is how you're going to be keeping track of the points. That also means that everybody's on the honor system, all right? Parents, I'm looking at you. Now, the team with the most sock eggs in the basket at the end of the timer will be the winner of this game.
Okay, If needed, press pause now to get everything and everyone in position for the game. We'll be waiting right here. Everybody ready? Great. We're putting a 1-minute timer on the clock. This Easter egg throwdown is happening in 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, families, come on back over here. Who won? Okay, that was wild. Whoever won gets socks. No, I'm just kidding. But adults, make sure whoever won the challenge gets a special treat today.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those melted peeps. Okay, maybe not.
No. We hope you guys are having a lot of fun so far. I mean, it is Easter weekend after all. Now, if you don't know the whole story of Easter, that's okay. Today we'll talk about what makes Easter, maybe more than any other day, a happy day. But before we get there, I know you have a lot of family and friends who would love to hear from you. And to make that happen, you have a few options. Pause this video and pick one of the challenges that you'll see up here on the screen to wish your peeps a happy Easter.
Okay, so I just got like 9 texts from you guys saying Happy Easter. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Even though we're celebrating a little bit differently than we ever have before, that's okay. Easter is still happy. And that's not just because of peep wars or Easter baskets or chocolate bunnies, although all of those things are pretty awesome. It's still happy because of what happened thousands of years ago at the very first Easter. You see, it's the world's most powerful story, and yet it's so simple that it can be told with laundry.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts and minds and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear Him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and His disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome Him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest Him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted Him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with His friends, He told them that He would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest Him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent Him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have Him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release Him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of His own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then he died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely he was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took his body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now he was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down his life. Through God's power, he defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, he's promised to return, so we can live with him forever.
Wow. I hear that story every Easter, and it always amazes me. I mean, God sent Jesus to the world to remind us that he is greater than anything that can go wrong in our world. The simple fact that Jesus came back to life is proof to us that we can face anything bad that happens. I like to think about it this way. I can because Jesus is alive. Here's what I mean. I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive.
Here's an idea. Take a few minutes and add to this list of things you can do because Jesus is alive. Answer this question as a family. How would you fill in the blank? I can blank because Jesus is alive. Pause the video while you discuss, and when you're finished, meet us right back here. Awesome. I love conversations like these because remembering what God has done in the past helps me to trust him with what's going on in my life right now. And I hope that's true for you too. And I hope that you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with you and your family.
So to get you started, here's one last challenge. For this one, you'll need to decide who is the technology genius at your house. Like maybe it's a step parent, an aunt, or an 8th grader. Either way, decide who that person is right now. Got it? Awesome. As soon as this video is over, I want you to go outside and take a family Easter photo. You can be dressed up or in your PJs, it doesn't matter. It can be totally normal with smiling faces or a silly one with those filters that turns your face into a bunny rabbit. No matter how you do it, take a family photo and make it awesome. Then share it to social media. Remember to tag @MetKids so we can see your family's Easter celebration.
Maybe now more than ever, this is a time to celebrate and to remember God's faithfulness and the hope that he gives us in Jesus. After all, that is what makes Easter so happy.
Yeah. So before we head out of here, we would like to say from all of us in Met Kids, Happy Easter!